Asylum, the complete trilogy. And it already had I already got Arkham Asylum, so I was like, why don't I just give this away? So what I wanted to do is just whoever shows up and does like the best participation as far as like commenting and stuff, I just wanted to like email them the Steam code. So if y'all can pick out who is the best participant or whatever, and if they already have Arkham Asylum, well, you know what? Tough. We'll email it to them anyways, and they can figure out what to do with it from there. So, but I've tried to give this game away twice, and to no avail. So,
nobody wants it.
I know, it's like my favorite. I think it might be one of my top 5 favorite video games ever made. Nobody else wants to play it. It's fantastic.
All right, there we go. I got the page up. I tweeted. Let me just refresh. All right. You guys ready?
Absolutely.
You ready, Hunter?
Oh, I'm always ready.
It's really weird not seeing you.
That's what she said. Oh. I mean, I can leave and come back. You really want me to do that?
That's all right.
God, the still image of me on the podcast page is just awful looking.
That'll change.
I look like a growling dog.
It's not that bad. All right, here we go. Welcome to podcast episode 117. I'm your host, Jason Lamb, because Eric Bailey is on sabbatical due to baby reasons. We're part of the VG Evo podcast network, and I am now allying myself with our new North Korean overlords.
My name is Eric Hunter. I am the audio engineer and co-community manager, and I am the one who stopped the interview from being released.
My name is Dustin Faber. I'm a writer at 16-Bit Catholic, and I have played Nintendo on a movie theater screen.
Have you really?
What?
Yeah, when I was about 6 or 7 years old, my dad took me. He's like, "We're going to the movie theater," and I said, "What movie are you going to watch?" And he said, "Well, it's a surprise." And all of his buddies were there, and they had an old school Nintendo Entertainment System hooked up to a giant movie theater screen, and it was
awesome.
The most glorious thing ever. Duck Hunt didn't work. We wanted to shoot some ducks, but that doesn't work. But it was cool. It was a movie theater with a stage on it. And while other people were playing, I could like run up on the stage and pretend like I was actually in the world of Mario, jumping and running and all that fun stuff.
Call it, man. This podcast is over. We're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I won't be able to top that.
That's just way too cool.
Like, I've been waiting 2 years to tell that story. So
I've had dreams and aspirations of such things happening. I've seen amazing footage of both still images and video of people playing like 4-player Mario Kart 64 at like the Eagles Stadium on their giant jumbotron, but just never that has just never become a thing for me.
Well, I'm sure that you could. I mean, if those bozos, my dad's friends, if they could rent out a movie theater, why couldn't you? I'm sure you could.
True.
Do it. Churches do it all the time. Why couldn't you?
Not cool enough.
Oh, well.
Be cooler.
Yeah, be cooler, man.
Be cooler, man. Be cooler.
Be cooler, man.
Now that's pretty cool, man. That's
that's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm really jealous.
Well, you should be. You have a 3D printer, though. I think I should be jealous.
I don't have one. I just have
access to one. It might as well be yours.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Speaking of having access to a 3D printer.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know how to segue that way. What have you guys been playing this week? Any old video games?
I've been playing a game on the PlayStation 2, so I guess that's an old video game.
Okay.
Called Lifeline.
Oh, okay.
Lifeline is a game created by Konami. It's a voice recognition game. So it takes place in the year 2029. You're at a Christmas party in space. The spaceship that you are on is overran by alien bug things, and you get locked into the monitoring room, where on one of the monitors you discover a server who is trapped in some sort of like holding cell. But you have to tell her what to do through a microphone, like a real live action microphone. So like you can tell her to like, when she's attacking, it goes into like this battle sequence, and it's shoot the right eye, shoot the left eye, reload, dodge, that kind of thing. it's kind of funny because like part of me feels bad because I feel like I'm yelling at this woman because I was like, there's parts in it. It's like, oh, and she's real. I mean, obviously they're trying to shoehorn or sock piano, if you will, this voice command thing into the game. So it's like, she's like, so where should we go? So I pull up the map and I'm like, go to guest room 1. Okay. And then she starts walking and I realize that it's a far walk and I'm like, run. And she's like, okay. And she starts running and I'm like, oh, don't do that. Don't run, please. Just stop. Because just. And then when you get into certain rooms and stuff, there's like these little charms that show up that are trying to get your attention. So within one room, there were 3 mirrors with little like twinkling charms on them. And I'm like, check out the mirror. So she looks at the mirror and she's like, yeah, I need to change out of these clothes. I just feel bad in these clothes. I'm like, all right, well, I don't really care. Okay, go to another room. Oh, check out the mirror. And she's like, yeah, I know I've got dirt on my face. I'll clean it later. And I'm like, look, lady. Like, I'm just doing what the charms are telling me to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if there's something not there, then don't put a little thing there for me to be like, oh, check this out. If you're just going to get mad at me for looking at the damn mirrors. So I stopped playing that game pretty soon after that. But it's interesting. It's an idea, the whole voice recognition and interacting with the environment and the characters and stuff using your actual voice. Like, that's... I could get into something like that. Like I could play some more of that.
Sounds very much like it could either fit very well on a Dreamcast, or
why would you say that, Jason?
Just because they have those wacky games. Plus, it kind of sounds like that. What's that dancing game in space for the Dreamcast?
Are you talking about Space Channel 5?
Yes.
Yeah, with Michael Jackson in it. Is that the one?
Yes, Michael Jackson is a hidden character.
That, or it sounds like a crazy 3DS game.
Well, it's not, man. It's PlayStation.
Could be. Just you screaming at your 3DS on the bus. Shoot!
No, turn around, reload.
There has to be a port.
So, yeah, Lifeline. That's what
Lifeline.
I playing.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
How about you, Dustin?
Well, I am plugging in some headphones right now, so I look very unprofessional. What did I play this week? I did an article on Virtua Racing, which should be up on the website here pretty shortly. And, man, playing that game with a joystick and buttons is just, I don't know. It's kind of a letdown in that aspect, but other than that, it's a lot of fun. Like, it's still a lot of fun, this old arcade game, which should not be fun because it's a racing sports game, and by definition, racing sports games that are 20 years old are usually not fun. But Virtua Racing was fantastic.
Nice. Nice.
That is a really good game.
Yeah, the music. Oh, I forgot how good the music was. That might be one of my top 5 favorite arcade soundtracks ever created.
I love going back to old games you played as a kid, and you can still remember the music.
Yeah. That menu music. I put like a link to the YouTube, like a YouTube video with the music from the game in the articles.
Okay,
you can hear the wonderful music that Sega AM2 put out. But man, they were just firing on all cylinders, no pun intended, when they released that game.
Nice. All right. Wow, your games sound better than mine. I've been stuck playing. I shouldn't say stuck. I got all my parts for my N64 PC I'm building.
Yeah, how's that
Finally.
going?
It's going well. I literally got all the tools I needed today. But so I've been installing some emulators and testing them out, trying to get them up to proper speed. But the game I decided randomly to use to test was Captain Commando.
Oh, nice. How'd that go?
It's it's not what I expected. For the longest time, and I don't know why, I thought it was like an action platformer.
All right.
I don't know why. It just seemed like, oh, Captain Commando, you'd be an action platformer. It'd be like some weird Contra-esque thing. So booting it up, and it's all right. I find a lot of kind of those side-scrolling beat-em-ups from that era. They're very similar.
Yeah, I can see that.
To a fault, almost. Like, okay, you get your attacks. Okay, you do the special attack. I did special attack. Great, kills a bunch of people, but I lose some life. You just kind of keep going. Yeah, no, it's not terrible. It just wasn't what I expected. Oh, 1 second. I have to send Hunter the invite again.
Oh, he fell away. He
He
fell
did.
down, as my daughter would say.
Fell down.
He fell down.
Eric Hunter, come back. But yeah, Captain Commando. It was alright.
Was the fact that it wasn't what you expected, did that make it more or less enjoyable for you?
I think it made it less enjoyable somehow.
Oh, okay.
Once I booted up thinking, oh, I'm going to play this type of game. Great. And then going into it's like, oh, this isn't at all what I expected, and I'm just kind of punching random bad guys again. Like that other...
Like every other one of those beat 'em up games. Some of those beat 'em up games are a lot of fun if you can have a little bit of variety in your moves. But if you don't have a lot of variety, if it's just punch, like Final Fight, that's fun. But after like 5 or 10 minutes, it gets to be old because all you're doing is just hitting one button to attack. There's not any variety in your attacks other than the animations.
Yeah.
So I can see why you would think that.
But yeah, no. Other than that, I'd still say check it out. It's a fairly well-known game, I believe. I'm mostly familiar with it from the Marvel vs. Capcom series of games, just because Captain Commando's a playable character.
Same here.
But I'm gonna have to Hunter. Hold on.
Hunter is dead. He died on a Thursday night.
I'm just gonna keep inviting him over and over. Eric Hunter, invitation posted.
Well, maybe he will come back.
I'm really hoping his computer didn't just crash outright, ruining his Audacity track.
That would be not as much fun.
That would suck.
But thankfully, we can lift the audio from this YouTube video.
Yeah, it'll just be terrible.
Yeah, terrible audio. While we're trying to pass the time, my webcam won't capture it, but our friend Valerie will appreciate this. I wore my awesome Fluttershy My Little Pony shirt just for the podcast tonight. So I made sure it was clean and fresh and new. So I don't know if there's any other My Little Pony fans on there. I know Valerie Minnick, who's commenting, is a fan. That might be the only one. It's a fantastic show, by the way. But and even their website, the My Little Pony website, they've got all these games and stuff. And there's like this totally like retro platforming game on there. It's actually a lot of fun. Really? So yeah, I don't know the name of it. That shows you how much fun I had when I came into the name of a game. But it reminded me a little bit of Spelunky, just without the whip.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Nice.
So if you're bored one night,
I don't
check
know what
that
to do
out.
here. Let's kind of put in a. We may just. Should we continue on without Hunter?
I don't know. I feel like I'm the cause of this. Like when mom and dad get divorced and the kids blame themselves. That's how I kind of feel right now.
Well, it's all right, son. Everything's gonna be all right.
Mommy and daddy don't love each other anymore.
No, we still do. We just not as much.
Thank you. Oh, speaking of marriage and stuff, it's a nice little 3 steps you guys got here. You've got the guy with the kid, or about to have the kid. You've got the guy who's just married, and now you've got the guy who's engaged. So it's kind of a nice little stepping. I think there was a TV show where that was kind of the setup there. I don't know. Man.
I'm blaming it on the website.
So you should really look into renting out a theater and playing some retro video games on there. I think that would be fun.
Sounds great.
I know you can rent out the space in the theater. I don't know if they would give you I think they might give you access to the projection screen. I don't know.
Yeah, they do. Oh, here we go. Okay. Do you guys have Cineplex down in the States?
No, I don't think so. We've got like AMC and Regal and all those things.
Okay, so we got a major chain up here called Cineplex.
Mm.
And it's saying you can rent. Let me see here. You can rent a full theater, not the entire theater, like a screen.
We're in a whole theater, though.
Doesn't give the price, but they include an Xbox One.
Oh yeah, I just found an Xbox big screen parties.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd run an Xbox One though. What are you gonna play on that thing? There's
I
no
don't
games
know.
on it.
Yeah.
But
Some
um,
Halo. You're gonna play the Halo you played on your Xbox 360 on your Xbox.
oh, you could get your PC there and have a sweet Team Fortress
Yeah.
2 match on the big movie
That'd
theater
be pretty
screen.
cool.
You can't do local co-op, which is would be kind of a drag. But rent out the theater just for yourself and just play Team Fortress 2 by yourself.
By
Maybe wants to
myself,
come in, be
just
like,
sitting there.
no, you can't
Be like,
play.
no, I'm busy. I'm playing some TF2 guys.
I wonder what that would look like because I don't remember things that well from when I was 7 because I'm freaking 7. But I don't know, would the resolution, would everything just look really really blurry, or I don't know, what would that look like? I wonder.
I'll have to find out.
Man, Hunter x Hunter, where have you gone? I mean, I've got no problem just sitting here chit-chatting and doing the rest of the show, but it kind of
computer.
makes me sad that he's
The
gone.
PC.
If worse comes to worse, one of us could call him and just hold the phone up to our respective microphones, and then he could actually talk.
That would cost me so much.
What? Really?
Well,
Oh,
distance,
the
right?
whole international state. I would, but he has never trusted me with his phone number. So
I don't think I have it either. I think I just have Bailey's.
I could not call him even if I wanted to.
That's
so
right.
he's not even tweeting at us.
No, I think his computer's just dead.
His computer truly died.
He's taking a hammer to it.
I thought you were. When you said I thought he's taking a hammer, I envisioned something that was a little more gross.
Nope.
So maybe that was his.
He says he's working on it. All right, you know what? We're gonna plow ahead.
Yeah, no, why not?
We're gonna go. We've got a listener email discussion question. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means if you email us at podcast@onemorecastle.com, we will read your discussion question and then discuss it. It's a neat little concept.
What's that email address they can send it to?
It's podcast@onemorecastle.com.
Interesting. I like it.
All right. So I've got an email question. It's a bit older. So we're going through a backlog right now, which is great. We love it. Okay, so it says last week, which was not last week, but last week you picked a game that was released on your birth month. But who's your favorite game developer or game designer that is roughly the same height as you? The three of you look like you are different heights, so I think the answers could be unique enough. You can guesstimate based on photos, or feel free to use your imagination. If that's too strange a question, then favorite licensed game? Have a good Thanksgiving/Thursday. I told you it was old. Aaron, Arcade, Android, Alcorn.
Well, maybe every day is Thanksgiving to him.
Every day's
And
Thanksgiving.
he just listened to that episode last week or something.
There we go.
So, this was a hard question because I tried to look up people's heights, and the only one I could find was Miyamoto, who was 5'5". Did you have any better luck with it?
I looked up Gabe Newell, who's 5'7". I thought he was much taller. I looked up Kojima, who does the Metal Gear games, and he's 5'8".
Oh, okay.
But I'm around 5'10". So I didn't find anyone of that height. I looked up a couple guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to assume I'm the same height as Peter Molyneux, who did those black and white games. I'm just going to assume.
He did, what's that game from EA? Populous? Was he the one who did Populous?
I believe he did Populous.
That's a game I need to play, but I never have.
Lots of bad names.
I looked up a few people, but I couldn't find American McGee's height. I couldn't find Carmack's height. So I was like, oh, crap, who is it? So I think I'll just go. I like to imagine that Miyamoto and I could be best buddies, despite our height differences, because that's important in a friendship. So I'm going to go with Miyamoto because my wife tells me I have a problem with posture. So I might be 5'5", if I'm not standing up straight.
There you go. It's a good enough excuse.
What was your favorite licensed game?
My favorite licensed game? That's tough. Favorite licensed game. It's gonna sound really sad. I was a huge fan of those NHL games. I know that's like not your traditional like, oh, it's a Latin game or whatever license.
Why would that make me sad? Why would
I
that
don't
be
know.
a sad pick? That's a fantastic set of games.
I'm used to Bailey being here hating on the sports games.
Oh, that's right. I love sports games,
Well,
just
sports games
not
are great.
really, really old ones. Those
Yeah.
are not as much fun.
But like
So-
early 2000s NHL games by EA were great.
oh, those are fantastic.
Those are fantastic.
When I did, I submitted a post that will hopefully come up sometime, unless it just really sucks. It's a ranking of the 27 games that I've ever received for the holiday season, from birth until death, and without spoiling anything, NHL 2K5 for the Xbox is at number 13.
Nice.
You could put your own music in the game, and that was a lot of
Really?
fun. Yeah, when you would you could set the music to
Xbox
play.
could do that.
Yeah, you could set the music to play depending on what happened and stuff. I had the Undertaker's entrance music when my team would enter, and sad trombone when the other team would score a goal and things like that. It was a lot of fun. I wish games still did that.
That's awesome.
But no, NHL games, those are fantastic,
Yeah, those are
sir.
pretty good. So, what
Have
was
no-
your favorite license game?
It was GoldenEye on the Nintendo
that makes
64.
sense.
Yeah, but
That-
when I went back and played on the Nintendo 64, I was like, this feels kind of lacking. So what I did was I ran it on an emulator, and I used a plug-in that made it operate the way a modern first-person shooter would, with the WASD keys and the mouse, because that's the
Oh,
only
okay.
way you play a first-person shooter. You don't play
Yeah.
with a gamepad. That's dumb. But it made the game just like a ton of fun all over again. So.
Oh, okay. I'll have to try that.
Yeah, I'll send you the files or whatever, and you can play GoldenEye the way it was meant to be played, just never played.
Nice. Yeah, I ended up setting up GoldenEye in an emulator. I've got a USB adapter for a
Yeah.
GameCube for a N64 controller, so I set up that way. But I ended up setting the C buttons on the 64 controller to let me strafe.
Oh, nice.
So it ended up working. Oh my God, Hunter's back.
It's Christmas has
Hey.
come early, everyone. Hunter is back,
Sorry.
and he's got a webcam too.
Anyway, what were we talking
Somebody
about?
in the
Hunter.
chat said too bad, which is mean, but
Hunter,
Totally worth it.
we're on to the email discussion question.
Good. Is it my
And
turn?
It is, and long story short, guesstimate which video game developer you're the same height as.
I got to go with David Jaffe.
All right?
Yeah.
what did
David
David
Jaffe.
Jaffe do for those of us who are in the dark?
For those who don't know, David Jaffe is the brainchild behind practically the entire Twisted Metal series on the PlayStation consoles. He also did God of War and those many sequels, and now he's doing a terrible game called Drawn to Death.
Yes. That looks...
But yet has the coolest development house name ever.
What is that development house name?
I knew you were gonna ask, and I gotta look it up. It's like Detective Bartlett and the.
now you're just making stuff up.
No, I'm not. Hold on.
Is David Jaffe even real at this point?
Oh, David Jaffe is always real in my mind. David Jaffe, developer. Give me Wikipedia. Give me Wikipedia. Give me Wikipedia. I'm just gonna call this up. Oh,
It's not on Wikipedia.
it's the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently he is a real life Ghostbuster, and that apparently has something to do with Bartlett Jones. Anytime you ask him like where he gets his ideas or his money or anything like that, he says, "Well, Sony pays me quite a bit, but the rest of it comes from Bartlett." Dude's
Yeah,
off
you
his rocker.
Yeah.
You say real life Ghostbuster as if all Ghostbusters aren't real, and that is confusing to me.
Well then,
Explain yourself.
is it time for a musical break?
It is.
Well, what about your other? The other question, part of that question was your favorite licensed video game.
Oh gosh. Licensed video game. I mean, I like Terminator for the Sega CD. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh my God, that's a
Okay.
fantastic game.
That was a good one.
That soundtrack on there is just amazing.
Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good at what he does.
He is good.
I'm gonna take that CD to work with me tonight and listen to it. Thank you for the inspiration.
Will you work tonight? That's weird.
Yeah, I work third shift.
Ah.
That's why I miss half of these live streams because I'm always asleep.
Oh.
I wake up at 9:45. It's like, man, I miss the magic. I'm a bad, terrible person.
I miss the magic.
Yeah.
I miss the magic too. We
It
don't have
is
the magic
magic.
anymore.
Oh, it's always. You've got the magic in you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm happy to help.
It's the hunter magic.
It's that hunter magic.
Speaking of hunter magic,
Ooh.
it's time for a musical break.
Now we take a break.
Now we take a break. Hunter, would you like to take another break?
Well, I didn't take a break before.
I know.
So,
What happened, if I may ask, without sounding intrusive?
well, so I think the tip-off was that my video camera wasn't working.
Yeah.
And then I got the whole Google Hangout plugin has failed. Please restart. So I went to restart and it would just hang. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to save what I've recorded and then just do a two-parter thing. Well, then my keyboard didn't work anymore.
Nice.
So Google officially took over my computer and shut it down.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It's
just
very
for the
vengeful.
people watching. For those who are new, we've got a couple of you. This is the part in the recorded podcast where we'd actually be playing music. So we usually just take this time to either use the washroom, chit-chat, get a drink, stuff like that.
I don't know what that means.
Bathroom,
Yes,
toilet.
I will totally do stuff like that.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to get a drink.
This thing doesn't die on me.
Dustin, do you have to do anything?
No, I took care of all my business before starting this show.
All right. I'm going to say, then, I'm going to let you interact with the audience.
I'm going to read some live stream comments.
Oh, sweet.
And
Another guy just joined.
point out my boring background on my on my setup here. So,
No, I like it. I can see stuff. I'll be
yeah.
back.
All right. Well, we've got some live stream comments here this evening. Jason Lamb said, "Hello all." Jonathan Higgins says, "I'm growling with anticipation." Jonathan Higgins, go take a long walk off a short pier for that. Christopher Schwartz, glorious leader. I don't know who he's referring to. Not Hunter. He abandoned everybody. Jonathan Higgins with a great tip that Duck Hunt is finally coming to the Wii U Virtual Console on Christmas Day. I'm kind of hyped. Me too, because my old NES is only hooked up to LCD screens and I can't use my zapper, which is kind of sad. I can't use my power pad either, because we've got noisy neighbors under us, even though I should use my power pad because they like to argue and yell and scream and turn up their music at 3:30 in the morning. And oh, by the way, yes, I have children who are trying to sleep, you jackasses. Jonathan Hiley said, "Oh, hey." Jason Lamb saying, "Hello, all." Christopher Schwartz said, "Hello." Jason is become Bailey. Valerie Minnick saying, "Hi, Jason." Jason's very popular this evening, and for good reason. He's got a 3D printer, and he's got a charming smile. Jonathan Higgins asking, "I wonder if the voice command game respects politeness, e.g. saying, 'please run' versus 'run.'" No, it respects politeness anymore, Jonathan. This is America. Jonathan Haley, talking with Siri, the game. I think that's a fantastic idea. Valerie Minnick, Jonathan Higgins, learning manners, the game. That sounds like something I would play and live stream on twitch.tv/FaberFamily. Jonathan telling Valerie they should wrap that up in some sort of Call of Duty skin to teach these deed kids, I don't know what that word is, some respect and decency /grumpy grandpa. Jonathan Joshua Caleb saying, "Is this the chat?" No, this is the next 30 years of your life. A sad, painful life.
What?
Valerie, Captain Commando, it's all right.
Yeah.
I've never played.
Yeah.
I can't comment on that. Jonathan and Joshua both commenting on Hunter's absence. Jonathan saying, "Ha ha ha." It's very mean. Poor guys. And Joshua Caleb, I think this is a Super Mario Brothers movie quote. He says, geez Luigi, this is kind of terrible." I don't know. I haven't watched that movie in 12 years. And Valerie saying, "Well, at least we still have each other. And that is a warm Christmas sentiment, especially during this season of Advent, that we should all take into account. It's not about the gifts, it's not about the lights, and it's not about your grandma. It's about each other. And other people saying hi, Jonathan welcoming Hunter back, and also saying Twisted Metal. He's talking about David Jaffe. Apparently said F-tard during the PlayStation experience. That seems kind of mean and unpleasant, and I don't like David Jaffe anymore because he doesn't sound like a nice person. So those were the live stream comments. Everybody's got all these cool backgrounds. Hunter's got all these Star Wars things. Jason's got pretty paintings and a bottle of something that he uses to clean his computer with. If you look in the back, you can see, it's like, what's that white bottle that you've got?
That's 3-for-1 glasses cleaner.
I'm sure it is.
And the paintings are actually framed vinyls.
Ooh, what vinyl do you have?
One on the left. Wait, yeah, over there. On the left is Bruce Coburn, Stealing Fire. He's a Canadian artist.
Oh,
so
nice.
none of you have probably heard of him. The middle one's Genesis, Nursery Crime. It's back when Peter Gabriel was the front man and the band was insane. And the final one is Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie.
Nice. I've got a vinyl framed. I want to join in on the fun.
Nice.
I've got... Oh, also, you can see my cocktail main cabinet.
Oh, I can. I was wondering what that was.
So that's my cool background item right there. But I have a Jars of Clay, Much Afraid vinyl album autographed by 3 of the guys at the show.
Nice.
So that was fun. I never expected to find that record, but you'd be amazed at what you can find when you just have some patience and dig through the record store bins, because you're always guaranteed to find 1 or 2 gems. And that record was not didn't get a really wide release when it came out here. So, score.
Cool. So did you go to the show and get an autograph by them?
Yeah, I went to a concert, and
Nice.
they had a big autograph line. The first concert I went to, I had to stand in the rain for 3 hours because it's a free concert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted a good seat because I was also taking pictures for a newspaper, but we didn't have press passes. So
Nice.
it's like, well, stay out in the rain, get pneumonia the next day. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Jonathan just said, wait, the digital media guy has framed vinyls? What? I'm going to explain. At one point in my life, about, 6 years ago, when I was doing my undergrad, I would often frequent a record store and would buy random vinyls and play them on a record player I have. I no longer have the record player. I still have some vinyls left over. I've kind of completely transitioned to digital.
Do you not have the record player by choice or by accident?
One, I blew the speakers on it.
Mm.
Like it was like a crappy all-in-one unit. It wasn't a good record player by any means.
I've got a good record player. If I upgrade my record player, do you want me to send it to you out of the goodness of my heart?
No, don't do that. That'll cost you too much money.
Why? It would be a
Canada,
gesture of my love and appreciation for letting me be on the show
That's all
tonight.
right. Honestly,
It's like $350 to ship to Canada.
it is. It's stupid expensive. It doesn't
It's
make
just weird because small children only go for like $1.50. So.
I know.
Oh, wow.
So easy.
Well, they're more expendable. I mean, it's a children. What kind of records can a child play? Nothing.
It's true.
Nothing. Stupid
Absolutely.
children.
I still want to send you my copy of Mega Man 2 just so you can hold it hostage from Hunter, because that was really funny when you held Lolo hostage from him.
Oh man, I want that Lolo back. So I can destroy it.
But think of what you could do if you had a copy of Mega Man 2 in your possession.
I'm gonna
I mean,
find a copy and destroy it on air.
that would be...
It's never gonna.
No, I won't. he might
I
actually
will be
come up to
making
Canada.
drive
and
to
try kill
him
me.
to Canada.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll get back to it. You guys ready?
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
All right. And welcome back. That last track you heard was Food Frenzy, a remix from Kirby by Ga Metal. You can find it at ocremix.com or .org. ocremix.org. I'm just going to say, when Bailey left his very extensive, long email instructing us how not to burn the podcast to the ground,
We're doing a pretty good job of it.
we are. He mentioned, in terms of music, he usually either looks at Twitter for them, or he gets them from his stash. The problem is, he didn't say where that stash was stored. Like, he didn't say, oh, it's in the email, it's in an inbox somewhere. It's like, I literally think it's on his computer, so I've just been going to ocremix.org every single time. That's great, because I'm finding new music. And I got to play Mega Man Battle Network last week.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Just for you, Hunter. Just for you.
Terrible.
Speaking of just for Hunter.
It's not true. It's for everybody.
No, it's just for you, Hunter. We do this just for you. It's time for the showdown. For those of you new to the podcast, this is the crown jewel, so to speak, where each week we decide on a theme, bring a game related to that theme, and then we each argue the merits of our own games and how our game is better than the others. And now, to announce the showdown winner from episode 115, it was special guest host Alex with Super Mario RPG led with 4 votes. Hunter also managed a reputable 4 votes for Double Dragon 2, while Bailey got not a single vote for Mario Party 3. Added alone. That's what he gets for reading Mario Party 3.
That's awesome.
I think that's possible. Is that the first time something hasn't got any votes?
No, I think I've gone like once or twice without a vote.
Yeah?
I can't remember specifically, and it'd be hard to go back and look because the way the voting plugin is set up, you can still vote for it after the fact. So,
True.
For all we know, somebody could have spiked.
I go back and make myself win on all of them.
Oh, poor Bailey. Rest
Poor
in peace, Bailey.
Poor Bailey. He leaves the podcast and just loses heart. All right. This week's theme is favorite fighting game, which is your favorite fighting game.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So, I guess I'll begin. Is everyone ready for me to ramble on about the greatest fighting game that ever lived?
For a minute?
For a minute. I get a full minute. Hold on.
I was gonna say, do you want me to do it, or do you?
No. I just have to pull it
I
up.
have a timer right here on my phone. I can do that with.
I've got up on the monitor. I may lie.
Everybody's got timers.
Yeah.
All right. Here I go. Released in the year 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube. One would not expect to find a quality title in the fighting game genre on the GameCube.
42 seconds.
But alas, whoa, it's actually timing me. I don't like this. But alas, here we are. It's Bloody Roar Primal Fury.
Oh my god.
Playing as a series of people who transform into fighting animals. At a whim, you can play as anyone from Stun the Insect to Gato the Lion to even Zion the Unborn, which I'm not sure what he turns into. Or Uranus, who's a clone of Yuriko. And Fang the... you can turn into animals. There's probably a honey badger in there.
5 seconds.
And a wolf, and it's Bloody Roar Primal Fury for the GameCube.
There you go.
Hunter.
I didn't know they made 3 of those.
Oh, that's 4 too many.
No, man. They were great. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
You may begin.
I have seen The Light. And The Light is a 1992 fighting arcade game developed and published by Sega. The name is a cross between holography and Coliseum. It's Holoseum for the arcade.
45 seconds.
This game plays similar to other 2D versus games, except for they're all holograms. Choose from any of the four different
30
fighters that are available within the game to crush your opponents with mirror matches, one-on-one combat galore. Running on the Sega System 32 hardware, it's Holoseum for the arcade.
Wow.
Holoseum. Holoseum.
10 seconds.
Dave the Karate Guy is one of the answers. And that is not a
Coliseum
joke.
time. Wow. Okay. Dustin, are you ready?
I suppose I am.
All right, you may begin.
Take a trip with me back to Augusta, Georgia. 1995 is the year, or 1996. I don't know. I think I've drank since then. I'm at a bowling alley. They've got the standard games, your Miss Pac-Man, your Street Fighter, you know, the classics. But then I see something that towers above everything, something that is just fantastic. It wasn't the first of its kind, but it truly was the best of its kind. It's from a little group called Sega AM2. It's called
30
Virtua
seconds.
Fighter 2. Virtua Fighter 2 is quite possibly the greatest arcade brawler fighter, whatever you want to call it. Maybe the greatest arcade game ever created, not named Galaga. Virtua Fighter 2, the best part of this game is you can have an old man who will drink from his flask and then beat the piss
10
out of
seconds.
you. It's Virtua Fighter 2. It was in the bowling alley, and it took all my money. The end. I love you. Merry Christmas.
Nice.
Virtua Fighter 2.
Virtua Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Hunter lost.
Yeah.
What? No. Holoseum, man.
Let me...
is where you're at.
Okay. So
See,
you've
all
got-
those games out there now that have all these 30 and 40 and 50 fighters to choose from, they're all the same. All you need is 4. You only need 4 players.
Four. I really like the names. You've got Samche Dompiagan, cool. Professor
Yep.
Chen, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Garrison, okay, not that great, but sure. And then Dave, who knows
Well, now,
karate.
Jack Garrison is a self-taught martial arts expert. That's very important.
That's
So, no, Holoseum was actually developed on the same hardware from a different game that was more of like an action-adventure game, Indiana Jones style, and the name escapes me. But
You know what the worst
Anyway.
the worst part of this is this is one of Sega's attempts at creating a rival to Capcom's Street Fighter 2.
oh yeah, and it worked. I mean, have you seen this game? It's everywhere. You can't port a game like this. The technology, even today, just does not exist. Now,
Too
when the
much.
Oculus Rift comes out,
Ooh.
ooh,
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't wait for Holoseum.
Holoseum
Holoseum
VR,
VR.
baby.
I'm gonna be
Ah,
all over that.
so good.
What the hell?
Holoseum.
Have you brought this
Holoseum.
before?
No, I've talked about it though.
We've talked about it. Okay.
Hunter, have you seen this game in the wild, or have you just read about it on the Our Lady of Wikipedia?
No. I actually, much to my chagrin, like your bowling alley story, mine happens to take place at a movie theater in the outskirts of Ohio. Well, my grandparents took me to see God knows what movie, but before shacking up in the theater, they let us peruse the arcade, and this game was definitely this game sticks out like a sore thumb, for sure.
Yeah.
Like if you see the cabinet, like it's super short.
It's round.
It's round. It's pure white, which is weird. Like there's very little graphics on the like logos and stuff on the cabinet itself. But when you walk up to it, it's kind of like those weird cutout horror like painting things where like the eyes are always watching you. Like
You said
could,
horror, right? Not cut out. Horror.
No, horror.
Okay.
Aurora.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the game like follows you. So like you can practically play it at any angle, provided that it's not, from the top looking down or the bottom looking up or from the back side or, any of the 2 feet of screen that it gives you.
So I remember this game. We went to the movie theater. They had this game, and I had $1 to spend, and they had Street Fighter 2, and I'd never played Street Fighter 2 or Holosseum, and Street Fighter 2 won. It took my money. I kind of wish I would have played Holosseum at the time because that's the only time I've ever seen that in the arcade, and I've seen Street Fighter 2 dozens of times.
Yeah, man, Street Fighter 2 is everywhere, and that is not where it's at. It's Holosseum.
It looked really, really cool. I want to make fun of it, but I can't. It's just very expensive, though. If you're an arcade owner, why would you want to spend so much money on this Holosseum game that may or may not make back your purchase price?
Oh, it's going to. Trust me.
But could your Holosseum characters transform into animals?
No, they have enough abilities on their own to not need gimmicks or tricks to lure gamers.
Could they sidestep left or right? No.
No, you can't.
Couldn't Bloody Roar.
Well, the thing is,
with games.
Well, the thing is with these characters in Holosseum, they're in a game that's actually decent. I mean, it's not the best fighting game ever. I mean, that's Virtua Fighter 2, obviously, but I mean, brutal piss rage, whatever you wanted to call it, I don't know. Like,
whoa,
this game is atrocious, man. This is maybe the worst game you've ever brought. This might almost be as bad as Growl.
No.
I'm not saying something because Growl was awful.
Bloody Roar was great.
I voted for Growl.
Why? Oh God, you're making me sad here. Why? What makes this game great, Jason?
1, kick-ass guitar-driven soundtrack. 2, something to do with some type of beast curse.
What?
3, I don't know.
Why not, Jason? Why don't you know?
There's an intro playing in front of me. 3, transforming into giant scary animals at will. 4, animals with metal.
Okay, you're basically describing Toki right now, and Toki's a much better game than this, Primal Rage wannabe that you're speaking of.
You know what? I'm out of dead game series. Bloody Roar's probably my top 5.
Wow.
I mean, okay, so this is the 3rd in the series.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure there's more. Are there more?
No.
No, this was it, so it died with this one. Okay. That's
yeah,
good.
this killed it. It was too good.
Just the fact that it's the 3rd in the series, clearly it was doing something, or they were just making this game for peanuts. That's the only other thing.
It was made by Hudson Soft.
Okay, so they were definitely making it for peanuts, that's for sure. So Hudson Soft hasn't had a good game since what, the Super NES?
They haven't had a good game since Bloody Roar 3.
Oh.
It's because they stopped making Bloody Roar games.
Who bought them? Who ended up buying Hudson Soft?
Konami?
Was it? You think they bought it just for the Bloody Roar license?
Yeah. Konami bought them out.
Yep, Konami Digital.
I'm going to have to... you know what? You know who works at Konami?
Lots of people?
Metal Gear guy.
The Metal Gear guy?
Yeah.
I can't believe they're still making games for Metal Gear. I mean, that's amazing. I think that's actually more amazing than there being a 3rd in the Bloody Roar.
I want him to make a Bloody Roar game.
Why? So you're just going to be transforming into different animals while hiding in boxes and sneaking around? That doesn't sound like any fun.
It's essentially going to be just Metal Gear, but 2D.
Am I a bad person for never playing a Metal Gear game at all?
Yes.
No, they're really bad.
No, they're great.
Oh, all right.
They're insane. Like they're batshit crazy.
If you're listening to the audio version, I wish you could have seen the look on Jason's face when I asked that question. It was a look of sadness, disgust, and like having like too much gas in your chest or whatever, needing to burp. It was all 3 of those things put together.
That's pretty accurate.
But this see, why couldn't you pick a game like Virtua Fighter? Like if you'd picked Virtua Fighter instead of this brutal Primal Rage, whatever it is. I would have been mad that we would have brought the same game. I would have said, you know what, here's a man with impeccable taste, and I'm just going to show myself the door, because, that would have been the greatest thing ever. But you didn't. You could have brought Virtua Fighter 2, and you didn't.
You know, my thing with Virtua Fighter... No, go ahead.
No.
No?
No. What you think about Virtual Fight? I want to hear it.
Thing with Virtua Fighter, of all the fighting game series that have gone from like huge in the 90s to no one gives a damn about in the 2000s, Virtua Fighter takes that pretty well.
I think you're thinking of King of Fighters. Nobody cares about King of Fighters.
That's not true at all. Everybody cares about King of
Oh
Fighters.
yeah, King of Fighters 98 is coming to Steam.
Oh, fantastic.
There's newer ones than that. No, Virtual Fighter kind of falls into the same realm as like Tekken. Like it was born of the 3D polygon time frame that we were in, and strangely enough, like those games just don't exist anymore. Like they may be 3D characters, but they're all on 2D planes now. Like this whole dodging and even with Bloody Roar, like it's not something people want to play anymore for whatever reason.
Mm.
Like it was a had its time in the sun, and then it just didn't. People just kind of moved on. I love Virtual Fighter 2. Like I love Virtual Fighter 2, but I'm glad it ended when it did. Because if you take too much Virtual Fighter 2, like you can't drive home. Like you might wake up next to somebody you don't know who they are. Make bad decisions when you play too much Virtual Fighter 2. So I'm glad it's done.
I will admit, Virtua Fighter was probably the first game I saw on a console that made me go, I kind of want a console.
Yeah, that was the reason to have a Sega Saturn, because that Virtua Fighter 2 on the Saturn was like nearly arcade perfect. I think there was like some scrolling backgrounds or something like that weren't there, but other than that, that was the reason I got a Saturn a few years ago, and then sold it when I got tired of playing Virtua Fighter 2. But now I've got it in my MAME cabinet. Well, actually, I don't have Virtua Fighter 2 in my MAME cabinet. It will not run in MAME.
That's not good.
So, no, it's actually a bad thing. But the first Virtua Fighter
runs really bad.
Yeah, it's a passable game, but Virtua Fighter 2 just improves on everything that the first one set out to do. And you've got an old man in Virtua Fighter 2, an old man that gets drunk and beats you up. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever, right?
That's your selling point?
Yeah. How many other fighting games do you know of with an old man who drinks from a flask and studies drunken boxing?
I got a wolf man.
Wolfman.
I got a guy made of a hologram. So
Shun Di would take your Wolfman down easy, and he would drink to its death. That's what he does.
That's serious.
The hell?
That's serious talk.
Yes, let's be serious.
Virtual Fighter 2 is not that balanced of a fighter, but it's still fun.
Mm.
It's got its
When you
issues.
say it's not balanced, are you making excuses for your lack of skill at completing the game?
No, I've completed the game many a time with many a character.
Okay.
But there are some definite flaws, like in hit detection and stuff on some characters.
Mm.
Yeah. No, it's better than Bloody Roar.
Well, yeah, I think that's the consensus here.
Yeah, but I mean, Holocene takes the cake. So.
Yeah.
How's the hit detection in Holocene?
It's amazing. It's a 2D plane. I mean, you can't beat that. Not this 3D crap that you newfangled kids are playing.
Mm.
Just give me 2D planes all day. See, they even try to... Go ahead.
Would it work well if it didn't have the holographic gimmick?
Would the game work well?
Yeah.
That's all the game is. It's a gimmick.
No, this isn't. No, the adventure game that this game was built off of from that engine, that was the gimmick. This is the real deal, my friend. A real deal.
So you'd be fine playing it in an emulator or something like that without any of the holographic tricks, because the strength of the gameplay is so good that it doesn't need the holographic to succeed. If it didn't have that holographic ability, it would still be just as good as Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Virtua Fighter.
See, I want to say yes. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. That's all you got.
I want to say yes.
You want to, but can you? That's what I'm asking here. Can you say
4
yes?
characters. That's all you need. 4 characters.
4 characters.
None of this palette swapping. Just 4 guys. That's all you need.
Which of the 4 characters did you play with the most?
I played as Dave because his name was the only one I could pronounce when I first played.
Dave's not here. You'll have to pick somebody else.
Dave's always here.
Hell.
He's in your dreams. It was before its time. Much like many of Sega's endeavors. Way before their time.
Sega, forever before their time.
If this game came out now, it would be amazing.
Couldn't they put it on the 3DS if they wanted to? Because Sega loves whoring out their stuff. Like, they'll put Sonic on an Android phone or, whatever. So why haven't they put this game on a 3DS?
That's why.
See, that's the thing, is that like nobody knows this game. So we have to build the buzz. Like we need fan sites created. We need GeoCities / Angelfire .gov / HTML / web / Holocene / goodies.html.
Oh god, you broke out an Angel Fire reference. That's fantastic.
Like that's what I need. That's what we need to get the buzz. To show Sega how we as a fan base of Holocene really need this game recreated, nay, redefined using the Oculus Rift. That's what we need. If this game was meant to be at any time, it would be the Oculus Rift.
That might, under the circumstances, that might be the most inspiring speech I think I've ever heard in my life. I would love to join you in this quest for Holocene. You know what? Don't even vote for Virtua Fighter 2. Vote for Holocene. That's what I'm voting for.
God, no.
You want
This
to vote
brutal
for Truth?
game of yours, Jason, are they going to re-release it on Steam like they did with King of Fighters?
God, I hope so.
No,
But
man,
why
nobody
haven't
would
they?
play it. Like, people will play King of Fighters because it's a great fighting game.
Dying for a bloody war game.
Why?
Dying, because it
You
was.
want to talk
great.
about gimmicks?
I rented the crap out of that game.
You still rent video games?
I did when it came out.
Oh, you what? Like a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
But this game
a
was
couple of weeks ago in 2001.
That's right.
Okay, my question for you, though. You said you rented this game, but it was conceivably in an arcade. So why didn't you play it in the arcade? Why did you rent it?
Because it only had an arcade release in Japan.
Well, if this game was so good, why didn't you go to Japan to play it? I mean, I would think that Hunter would travel across the country to play Holocene. That bowling alley was a little bit of a walk for me, but I did it because I loved a Virtua Fighter, and you love this brutal game so much you decided,
I was 12 and couldn't afford to travel to Japan by myself.
Did you not see that movie, The Wizard? Those little kids walked all the way across the country to California just to play a Nintendo game.
I've actually
You
never
couldn't
seen
get on a
that
plane.
movie.
You haven't
You've
seen The
never
Wizard?
seen that?
I've never seen The Wizard.
It's a crappy movie, but...
Again, I only saw the Mario Brothers movie like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what is a better movie, The Wizard or Mario Brothers?
Oh, I would take The Wizard over Mario Brothers any day.
Yeah, I
Because
guess
there's actual video game footage in the movie. I mean, granted, it's an hour and a half long Nintendo commercial, but still, I laughed a little bit.
A little.
There's a really creepy part in that Wizard movie where they're all at the pool at the hotel scene, and you see this really, really pretty girl's butt, and then it like shows like a dude's butt in a Speedo. It's like, this is a kid's movie. Why are we showing people's butts in Speedos?
No, that's not the weird part. The weird part is when they go into the casino and she screams that dude touched her breast.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Like,
and they
as
don't
a
arrest them or
kid-
anything.
Yeah, no, like as a kid, I'm like, what does that mean? What is that even? Why are they so mad? Okay, well, don't do that. I get it. Life lessons.
Life lessons.
This guy, he might have actually, assaulted a child, and they don't call the cops. They just throw him out of the casino. And it's like, yeah, that's the right action to take when somebody gets assaulted on the casino floor. Just throw them out. They'll never do it again.
So you used to take care of problems back in the old days.
Then those truckers show up and give them internal bleeding and stuff, which is fantastic too.
White walls. I remember that joke. White walls on the tires for the truck. All they had were white walls. I didn't get that. Like, there were so many of those weird jokes in the movie where, watching as a kid, it's like, look, I'm just waiting for Super Mario Brothers 3. I don't know why it's taking so long. I just want to see this game. Oh my gosh, they showed me where a secret whistle was. I'm waiting in line to buy this game. It's $60 at launch. I don't care. I'm buying this game.
Did you get that game for Christmas, birthday, or did you save up your money for it?
No, I just begged my parents to buy it for me, and then they did the whole, okay, well, this is your Christmas and your birthday gift together. And I was like, yeah, sure. Super Mario
Was that a
Brothers
good
3.
decision looking back, or do you wish you would have had more patience?
No, I still have that same copy. So,
Oh, man.
yeah,
You
I
know
got
what
lucky
you
with
should
that
get a
stuff.
copy of?
Is
I'm not
Roar
getting
3.
Bloody Roar 3, that's for
You
sure.
Bloody Roar 3.
No.
the Super
Coliseum.
Mario Brothers movie better than Bloody Roar 3?
Yes, by far.
Absolutely, that movie is better.
That's just a silly question, Dustin. Why would you? I mean, that's common knowledge amongst
I'm gonna
people on the
download
street.
Bloody Roar 3.
Illegally.
Yes.
I can't criticize.
I'm literally building a machine that is dedicated to illegal playing of games.
I was gonna say I can't criticize you. I have a MAME cabinet, and I sure as heck don't
That's
have
okay.
all those arcade games in my basement. So
No,
I would download this. Sony PlayStation
nobody does. That's the problem.
does Coliseum run in MAME? I don't know. Maybe it does.
Probably.
Cool if it did.
It runs
I have
in
it downloaded.
I don't know what's going on.
I just looked up Coliseum MAME, and the first thing that I
This is
got
important.
was
There we go.
it said Coliseum strong candidate for worst game ever. That seems kind of mean.
Seems
Just
accurate.
a candidate. Doesn't mean that it won.
Mm.
Just a candidate. Just a candidate.
a
I've seen
candidate.
lists like that have like Super Mario Brothers on it. So, I mean,
Really? Who put that on a
What?
list?
I've seen it more
I
than
think I do
once,
have
that's for sure.
Coliseum downloaded.
Yes, play it.
It's just they all have like short names. I downloaded torrent. It's named Hollow, and I can only assume it's Coliseum.
It probably is, yeah.
I'll
Nobody's
leave it.
smart enough to name their game Hollow anything
Hollow
other
anything.
than Sega.
Are we
Okay.
able to give our recommendations for places that you can go and be sketchy and download stuff, or do we leave that out of the show?
You leave that out, I believe.
Yeah, we should
Well,
probably definitely leave that out.
Yeah,
If not, then
that's
I'll
a
just
good
edit it
idea.
out later.
If you do a 5 minutes of Google searching, you can find it,
Yeah.
or find me on Twitter, and God forbid I tell you what it is on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just gonna say
got a lot of seedy stuff going on the show tonight.
it'd be really cool if you went and found some ROMs.
Hmm.
No?
Yeah. I think
Don't do it, kids. Download what you own.
it would be paradise to find all of these ROMs. So,
Yes.
All right, I see what you're doing there. All right. Gonna have to put a stop to this. Put my foot down.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Virtual Fighter 2.
Arguments.
Virtua Fighter 2, the second best game, a fighting game ever made, behind Coliseum. No, I'm not even kidding. That might be the best one out there. But Virtua Fighter 2, it's a solid choice.
It's a darn good second.
I liked it because it was like it felt like it was realistic fighting. There was no like fireballs and spears and stuff like that. It was just your basic punching and kicking people, and I liked that. It felt more like a kung fu movie that you would see on Saturday afternoon TV or something like that. And I really appreciated that because I liked a lot of anime and stuff back in the 90s at that age, because Cartoon Network started showing anime for the first time, and Virtua Fighter just kind of felt more anime than Mortal Kombat did.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Hunter.
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
The name says it all. If it doesn't, check out some gameplay footage. If that doesn't help it, check out what the cabinet looks like. Almost looks like R2-D2.
Does.
It's nothing like
Coliseum. You gotta squint, Jason. And just look into the sun.
Yeah.
Coliseum.
Coliseum. All right. You guys should vote for Bloody Roar 3 because it's got some animals. It's like the GameCube version of cockfighting. We're pitting a bunch of animals against each other. Fight. Dogfighting 3, the video game.
Wow.
You should play it. It's edgy.
Is that considered edgy?
I don't know. I know it's considered illegal, which makes it somewhat edgy.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
I think we can all agree that the 3 games that we brought tonight, even yours, Jason, are all miles and miles better than what Bailey would have brought if he was here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bailey
okay.
chooses awful things. It would be another
Yeah.
board game.
What would he pick for a fighting
Like
board
Clue,
game?
the fighting game.
Clue 2085. That was
Yeah,
fantastic.
Clue
I want that
2085.
game made like yesterday.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Mm,
That would be sweet.
mhm.
All right. That's episode 117.
Woo!
Woo! All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Jason Lamb, where I'll tweet random things such as the build progress of my N64 PC, which you can also follow on onemorecastle.com.
It's true.
Hunter, do you have any shoutouts?
Sure, you can follow me on Twitter as well at Eric Hunter. For all things me, check out my website, ericmhunter.net. Shout out goes to Coliseum. And Dave the Karate Guy.
Dave the Karate Guy. Dustin, any shoutouts? Any self-promotion you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at 16bit Catholic. You can watch me streaming a bunch of crazy games like Ground Zero Texas for Sega CD at twitch.tv/FaberFamily. And my shout out goes to my Twitter friend Beth Ann's Best, BETHANNES Best, who whenever I do any kind of streaming always shows up and is very encouraging. So thank you, Beth Ann, for watching me play old video games.
Sweet. All right, and remember, you can always email us at podcast@warmercastle.com to send us your podcast discussion questions. We'll read them, we'll answer your questions, and we'll probably say something clever.
Probably.
I like it.
Maybe.
I haven't emailed you guys in a while. I need to get back on that.
Do
Slacking
that.
off. I'm a horrible fan.
Get on it. I'm
This
also
was
going to
fun.
say, good, we're glad to have you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you enjoyed.
I
We're on
look forward to it
hiatus
again someday.
January, yes?
Do what?
Hunter?
What?
We're on hiatus until January, yes? There's no podcast next week because of Christmas.
No podcast next week because of Christmas, and then no podcast after that because of New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So.
Wow.
So-
Yeah, we're not back until the 8th.
Yeah, we will be. Our next live recording is January 8th.
I got to close out the year with you guys.
There you
That's
go.
fantastic.
Yeah, you did.
Happy 2014. See you
Woo.
in 2015. And remember, you are a bad enough dude
So bad.
to rescue the president. God. Good night. Or stick around.
Stick around.
All right, Dustin. We're going to give you the honor of choosing the Showdown theme for our next guest host.
What? Let's see. Well, I'm going to pick that, and who do we give the Steam key to Arkham Asylum to of all
yes.
the commenters? Who did
One
the
of
best job?
commenters. I'm going to let you pick.
Hmm.
It's your Steam key.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is a team effort. So let me make sure nobody is actually playing it on here. That'd be a bummer to give it to somebody. Hunter, do you have any input on this?
I just closed that window out, so let me bring it back up. Trying to multitask, it's not working like I thought it should.
I've got one vote right now. I'm thinking
Higgins and Haley have been going back and forth.
they have. I'm going to give the nod to Higgins because it looks like he actually replied to other people in the stream as well, because he and Valerie were chatting back and forth with each other, and that was really good of him to try to involve other people. So, Jonathan Higgins, congratulations. You win a Steam copy of Arkham Asylum. It's a little old, but in about 15 years, somebody will be bringing it to the Retro Showdown and probably winning because it is a fantastic game.
Sweet. Congratulations, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And thanks again to Valerie, Joshua, the Gaming Bandit, Jonathan Haley, Mohammed GBR, Claim Desnick, Jonathan Higgins, and I'm going to mispronounce this, and I'm so sorry, Michaela Calhoun?
Michaela Calhoun, yeah.
Michaela Calhoun.
And also Chelsea
That's a cool
Gilmer.
name. The topic for 2 or 3 weeks, I don't think you guys have done this. Best NES black box game that is not Super Mario Brothers. Because somebody could just easily pick Mario and just win the whole thing. But you take that off the table.
Or somebody could rebring Clue Land. That is possible.
Clue Land.
Bailey's going to be over that.
Just
Okay,
me?
Bailey's on here.
I'd be bringing Balloon Fight if that was me. If that was my pick for that category. But we'll have to see what somebody else picks for that.
All right, I'm going to email that to myself so I don't remember. I mean, so I remember.
So I don't remember.
I obviously need to sleep.
Email and forget.
Showdown theme. Best NES
Black box.
game that isn't Super Mario.
Oh, Dustin, do you have like a Dropbox or something?
I've got
of
a
that
Google
nature?
Drive that I can share something with you very easily.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
how I do
because
on
your MP3 is going to be too big for an email. So if you could
Yeah. Yeah, I can
upload
do
that
that.
and then shoot it to me, that'd be fantastic.
Do you want me to hit stop recording on it right now, or do I need to keep going for crazy high?
Oh no, you can stop it.
Ah, you can stop.
Yep.
All right, let me go ahead and export anything you want me to do, any kind of effects or anything to add to it before sending it to you, normalize or anything like that.
No, I can take care of all that. MP3s are fine.
Okay. I was late plugging in my headphones, so the first 8 minutes or so, you might hear some of your voices when I'm not talking, but hopefully if it's all lined up, that won't be too big of an issue or whatever. Sorry about that. My
Well, I lost the first 20 minutes of my track, so.
Ah, well, that's a shame. Gonna encode that.
Episode 117.
Yay!
Code that at 64 kpbs. Let me clear out that metadata. It's so
Hey,
meta.
did you say 64?
Yeah, 64 kbps.
Is that enough for you,
File
Hunter?
size.
That'll work.
All right.
Yeah. That way, it's a smaller, manageable file size or whatever. And it's just me talking. There's no music
enough.
or anything like that.
Should I shrink
And you
mine
got my
now?
email address, right?
Yes, you and I are still in the Google circles, I think, unless you've banned me. I don't know. That would be sad, but yeah, I think I've got it. So, oh yeah, I do, because it was part of that email that was sent out to me asking, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?" Which was, yeah,
Right.
I do, but not for real. I've held on to that Nintendo playing in the movie theater story for 2 years, thinking like maybe I'll get on the podcast to be the perfect thing to talk about, but I can't talk about it before that because then it'll be a repetitive story. So, woo for
That's
that.
totally cool, man.
Um,
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I apologize. I gotta pop off, but
no, you're welcome.
Dustin, thank you so much. Get that to me whenever you can, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon.
All right.
All right, man. Have a
See
good
you
night.
later. Thanks to everyone who's still sticking around. See you in January, and thanks again, Dustin.
You're welcome, sir. I hope you have a good night.
You too. And try to have fun at work.
Oh God,
Gotta
that'll be fun.
try.
Yeah, gotta try. That's important.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.